Well, it's been about 4 months since I've uploaded a video, and I just thought I'd catch everybody up to date. Start off by showing you the paint booth that we built. We just made it out of square tubing and suspended it from the ceiling. Covered it in clear plastic, and down here at the end we put in our inlet exhaust. And of course we had all these sides covered with plastic while we were painting the car. And then I just put this 4-foot box fan turned around the other way, and we stapled filters to that. So it worked pretty good. I wouldn't want to try to make a living with a paint booth like this, but for what we're doing, worked pretty good. As you can see, I guess David, my painter body guy, that's working for me over here, that's really been a great help. His idea was to go ahead and paint the whole thing while it was on the rotisserie, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but now that we did it that way, I think it's the only way to go. It really worked out good, especially for polishing. You know, the painting's almost the easy part. I'd say easy, but I know David's got probably 2 weeks of buffing on this thing. We put three pretty good heavy coats of clear on there, which enabled us to really buff it out pretty good. But I think we're pretty slick. We ended up going to about 2,500 grit, and then we picked up these 3,000 and 5,000 grit pads on that little orbiter sander, and that really helped, as long as you don't get too close to the edge. But anyway, we're trying to do all we can on the rotisserie. We've got the front end all bolted back on and ready to go. We've done some of the plumbing that had already been bent, but we're just putting it back on. I've been running the fuel line. I tell you what, it's so much easier to run it like this than it is from that hoist over there overhead. But these aren't the finished fittings that I'm using, but they'll hold it in place until I get the ones that I'm going to finish it on there. But anyway, that's how that looks, and we're going to go up in there, and then I'll tie it on with stainless flex going to the carburetor. Brake line, we've got the stuff. We already had it bent, and we've just putting on anything that's going to be in the way of the rear end. Got the fuel pump mounted. Looks like it's going to be in the way, but actually the tank, the fuel tank hangs down actually lower than it does, and I've got the trunk dynamatted, and that stuff works really pretty good. I was worried about how it's going to work, but it worked pretty good. Got the inside interior doors all dynamatted, and it's ready to go. The fender, you can see right now in the hood, for an example. David's just started to wet sand on it a little bit. It was a lot easier, even on the rotisserie, obviously. It's a lot easier to do it right there. Of course, we pulled the fenders off, so it would be easier to put that front end on, but to be honest with you, he's done a little bit of wet sanding on that, but actually those will be a lot easier on the car, so we'll finish those up on the car. The tank itself, we painted it. We're trying to stay with just 2 colors throughout the car, interior, exterior, everything. And so that stripe that you see down the side of the car, it's this dark metallic gray. That's the underneath of the tank. Here's the rear end housing. It's actually powder coated, so we were able to find a powder coating that was pretty close to the same color is the gray paint that we painted the tank. So that ought to work out pretty good. So right now, this week, we're going to try to finish up this plumbing, put the rear end under it, and hopefully Friday or no later than Monday, we should have this thing flipped around and back on rubber, rolling around. When that happens, we'll take it and move it back over here and get ready to. I've still got a lot of plumbing underneath the engine, inside the engine bay, and all the pedals, and I want to get all those in there before we set this motor in there. But anyway, we'll wait and set the motor in over here. As far as electrical goes, that's been a real head scratcher. This is what I've got done so far. This has been probably a lot of work here, more trouble, almost sometimes more trouble I think is worth. But this is the original bezel out of that 67 Fairlane. And so what I did is I made a 20 gauge metal part for it and welded on some brackets. This enabled me to put these gauges like this right here. And then I had a company out of Oregon that cut me a piece of carbon fiber, and we fit it right in there. So this ought to work pretty good. I did a pretty extensive wiring diagram of how all this went, and I'll be honest with you, I bought the wiring harness that goes with this, but there's so much on it. I wouldn't recommend anybody buying a wiring harness for a dash. It's so much easier to do it yourself. Build up your own wiring harness. I bought a bunch of these weather pack fittings. I mean, I know I don't need weather pack underneath the dash, I don't think. But anyway, we're going weather pack throughout, under the hood, everywhere we're putting those weather pack fittings. Another thing is all of our rings, we're using these OEM Packard style for the rings. I really like the way those hold, and then going and putting heat shrink on top of that. So that's where we are on the dash. The brakes, David's got those taped up. Since we moved the car over here, we still got a few little parts that we need to spray blue. The brake, all these here get sprayed the same color as the exterior of the car. We still got a few little inner fender pieces that needs to be painted blue. I think we got most of the gray, but anyway, we're going to use this area over here to paint. Obviously, I'm not going to drop plastic down there just for those little parts, but like I said, once we get it back on the rubber and flipped over, we'll bring the car over here on the other side and come back over here and do painting. So hopefully the next video will have it getting close to ready to have interior put on it. Like I said, we still got a whole lot of wiring to do. I'm going with that ISIS power system, and you know, it's going to be kind of deep. One thing that I've done, and maybe it's an overkill, but I basically built a complete wiring diagram for the whole car in AutoCAD. So hopefully I've done most of my head scratching on the computer, and that way we can print it out. It prints out, I've got to print it out in about a 60-inch long document, but that way we can hang it on the wall and go and wire right by that diagram and not wiring by scratching our head. But anyway, that's where we are right now. I may make a note, this worked out pretty good, but it's been a whole lot of probably more trouble than it's worth. Anyway, I tore apart the hinges, had them powder coated, and then went back with polished stainless button heads and nylocks. It looks neat, but it's been a pain with the spacers and washers that I've got to put in there to make those holes line up. But like I said, I guess it'd look kind of neat. That's it for now. Any comments, let me know. See you.